Hello, this is Eric from labofcoding.com. In the last video, I introduced the Django template system and I created an index.html file which I used in the index view. In this video, I'm going to pick up from that and we're going to go into more details of how to use the Django template system. But before going to that, there is one thing that I like to quickly mention. When you're writing your Django code and you make an error, Django will either complain in the command line where you're running the Django development server, or in the browser it will also show you the stack trace that has happened. So I like to give a quick overview of how to go about debugging your Django application. Say for example, when you give a template name or path which does not exist, Django will complain with a template not found error which is raised by Django's template system. So let's change the path here to something random which does not exist, and let's go to our browser and refresh the page. You'll see that Django has given us template does not exist at index. So this is by default, this is Django's error page, which will be shown when you have debug set to true. Debug is a setting in your settings.py file which it's advisable to set to true when you are developing in a local environment, but set to false when you are running your project in a production environment. So for now we have our debug set to true. That's why we are seeing Django's error page. So the template does not exist error usually raised in most cases when you've given a wrong path of your template path. So in most cases, Django will also show you in the stack trace, it will show you exactly where the error has happened. In this case, if we go in the stack trace, you'll see that it's telling us the error is, it has highlighted line number 10 in our views.py file, because that's where the error is. We have a wrong path to our index.html file. So let's go and correct that one. Let's save that one and let's refresh. Yeah, now everything is fine. So when you get an error, in most cases, just try to look at the exception that has been raised and also where Django is pointing the error to be, if it's pointing in that case. So let's go into the Django template system. So the Django template system basically deals with two main things. The first one is loading the templates in your file system and rendering the templates in your views. So by loading is Django will just will find the template in the path that you've given and it will render it to a in-memory representation. And the rendering part is just to pass the context variables into your templates. In this case, we passed the today variable and the app name variable into our template using the context object, and we were able to render it. So the rendering part of the template system deals with that, and it has domain-specific language known as the Django template language. Don't be worried by thinking that maybe it's another full-blown language. No, it's just a domain-specific language which you use in the Django templates to pass and even to handle and manipulate variables. So I'll give a quick overview of this language and how we can use it in our project. So the Django template language, we can divide into three main components. The first one is variables, how you pass variables from your template, from your context to the template. And also it has loops, in this case a for loop. Also we have conditional statements, and we also have what we call template tags, and we also have template filters. So the way that you access variables that you've passed from your context to your template, we usually use the double curly braces as we have used in this place. So that is how you access a context variable in your template. And also it has we have loops in the Django template language we can use to loop over lists, tuples, that is any iterable in Python. So we will first of all we will look at how we can use the for loop to loop over a list of the to-dos that we have saved in our database. So let's go to the views.py file and let's use the Django RM to get the to-dos from our database and then pass them into our context and render them in our index.html using for loop. So let's import the to-do model from the models file. So that will be from .models import to-do, and let's get a query set of the to-dos using to-do.objects.all. This will fetch all the to-dos that we have in our database, as we saw in the video on using the Django RM. So we can pass the to-dos in our template as to-dos, and then we can be able to access them in our template. So to-dos.objects.all returns a query set, and a query set is an iterable, so we can loop over it in our template using the Django for loop. So let's so we have the to-dos and we can use the for loop. So the a for loop is an example of a Django template tag, and the normal syntax for a Django template tags usually starts with the curly braces and 2 percentage signs. So this is how our for loop will look like. So let's loop over the to-dos. We've named our variable as to-dos, so we loop over that. So let's say for to-do in to-dos, and then within that loop we will just display each to-do, and then you will have to end the for loop with end for. So that is the syntax of a for loop in the Django template language. Add some syntax highlighting for that. So now we are looping over the to-dos and calling each variable to-do, so we can access each variable using the double curly brace notation. So we know each to-do has a title, so let's pass that. Also each to-do has a description, and also it has a done field. So let's save that one and see if we are rendering our to-dos correctly. So that's it. We have rendered our to-do, but for now we have only one to-do in the database. So maybe we can add another to-do. So let's go to the admin. Sorry, it seems something's wrong there. Yeah, so let's add another to-do. Let's just call this to-do one. Let's say it's Wednesday. It's not done. So this is just description one. Let's save that one and let's refresh. Yeah, so we see that we are looping over the to-dos, but the display is not that good. So let's wrap every row here in a paragraph so that they can be displayed on separate lines. Awesome. So we can even add a title here. So -3 and then say our to-dos. let's refresh that. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Yeah, so that is how you use the Django for loop in your templates. So the Django template language also has what we call filters. The work of filters is just to take values and transform them to something else. So let's say, for example, we have we want to have our title in capital. We'll use our Django template filter to do that. We can go into the Django documentation. Let's search for template tags, built-in template tags. So this is where Django lists all the built-in template tags. So we have built-in template tags and built-in template filters. The for loop is an example of a built-in template tag. So in the list of built-in template filters, we have a filter known as upper, which converts whatever string it has been given to uppercase. So the notation for using a filter on a variable is usually the pipe string and then the name of the filter. In this case, the filter that we want to use is upper. So filters are normally applied to variables. So in this case, we want to convert the to-do.title variable to uppercase. So let's go to our to-dos list and refresh this. So you see the title has been converted to an uppercase. So there are many filters that you can use in your code. So a good thing to do will be to go to the Django built-in tags and filters reference and see what may be appropriate for your use case. Again, another common filter, our common tag is the conditional if tag. So it's just follows the normal construct of the if conditional in the Python language. That is, the logic is the same. So if you evaluate a variable, if it's to true, you display a given text. So let's say in our for loop, let's say we want to display only those to-dos which have not been done. That is, they have done equal to false. So we will use the if. So the if, this is how it's written. You have the if tag and then the end if tag, and you display whatever logic you want within that. It can also have an else tag. So in this case, you want to check if the to-do.done, that if it's true, if that tag has been done, let's display it. Can move this. Otherwise, don't display it. So let's go and refresh. Yeah, so we have only the buy laptop to do is the one which has been done. So that's what has been displayed. So we can change to do one and also set it to done true and save that one and refresh. Yeah, we also displaying it because it has the done to true. So that is how you use the if tag and the for loop in your templates, and also how to use the filters. In the next video, we'll pick up from this, and we see that we are displaying our to-dos, but our page does not look so nice. So we are going to use Twitter Bootstrap version 4 and customize our index template so that at least it looks nice. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching.